Hasamiava.
Eva.
I don't know if we all said it together.
Right?
Hi, everyone. Welcome to WitchSlapped's The Witching Hour. My name is Rowell.
I'm Christina.
I'm Dani.
And you guys, it's like the end of an era, right? It's
No,
so sad.
We're not saying that. It's not the end of the era.
It's not the end of an era, but so tonight the series finale aired or just aired on Freeform, and we're going to talk about it. And yeah, so the episode is called Revolution Part 2. It's described as follows. Part 2, yes. In a climactic battle, the unit and its allies team up to fight the Camarilla. Alder races across the world to find the final piece of the first song. And this episode was written by Elliot Lawrence and directed by Amanda Tapping. And I think Amanda Tapping directed the series premiere, if I'm not mistaken. So it's kind of fitting that she also directed the finale. And the episode aired August 23rd on Freeform.
Fun fact, Amanda Tapping also is the voice of the mother later in the episode.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Ooh,
Oh, I love that.
yeah.
She is sci-fi royalty, so it's amazing.
Oh,
Nice.
I need to look her up because and she's a great director too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so a lot of crazy stuff happened, but we're going to try to condense this. And so first, let's go to you, Christina. So the core four.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Cool. So our core four, along with Adil, Petra, Anacostia, Sterling, and Gregorio, I believe, all go to Fort Salem for one last battle because, as we know from the last episode, it has fallen. And when they get there, our core four, they go to the necro facility to get Ray to the mother because she is getting sicker and sicker because, this isn't good stuff. So they have to get there. And while that's happening, the Camarillo is running around Fort Salem and they're planting bombs and basically injecting them into the ground is what it seems like, with what I'm going to assume is the same poison for the mother, or maybe a stronger version of it that we saw earlier in the season. And then what happens after that? Oh, Hearst shows up. I know that. He's a dick. He's a real dick.
Oh my god, I hate him, but he gets it in the end.
Yeah.
Yes,
so he shows up and he silences everyone. And then he's the only voice that can be heard. He's like, finally, we found our voice. You have to listen to me now. Just like a dick does. So,
Man, am I right? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So while that's happening, he makes sure the bombs are set off, and that poisons, we see Alder elsewhere. It hurts her, but it also hurts Raylla, and she releases these poison spores out, and both Adil and Scylla get hit by them and are immediately stricken down and not looking good. Let's see. What else happens? So much happens.
Yeah, and can we talk about that that beautiful, I think it's before they went inside, but there was a scene with Anacostia and they're all together. And I wrote down what she said. It was this beautiful speech. So she tells them, I just want to say how proud I am to know all three of you. From the moment we met, I knew there was something else, this odd, beautiful, precisely perfect combination of your talents. Yeah, everybody saw it. Everybody knew. Never doubt that, all right? Never doubt what you built. And look out for that one. And that one is Scylla. And then Scylla gives her a hug. And oh my God. So they hug. And I thought that was such a big 180 because we remember when she was locked up and she was Anacostia's prisoner. So to see them hug, that was so sweet. And then when I saw that beautiful moment, I was like, they're setting something up. And then sure enough, the car comes hurling toward her and she dies, and that's incredibly sad.
That was devastating. I had to pause the screener and I let myself cry because that was a huge loss.
I wasn't expecting it. And then would they kind of leave the camera on her for a little bit, and I was like, no, she's gonna move, and she didn't. I was like, no.
Yeah, and she uses wind strike to push Gregorio and Petra and Sterling out of the way so that she saves them. Which is, I mean, I think that's so true to who she is.
Absolutely.
You know, she puts others before herself. And yeah, going back to that moment that she had with the unit and Scylla, I feel like she has always really believed in the unit. Like Absolutely. She saw something special in them. She pushed them. And she really helped to mold them into the soldiers that they became.
And okay, so like my theory is I might be completely wrong, but I'm thinking like in the event that the show is renewed, maybe they might have killed her off because, you know, she's doing that other show now, The Winchesters on the CW. So maybe that's what happened. And, you know, that hopefully they'll, if the show gets renewed, and because she's on a different show, maybe they will bring her back for like maybe 1 or 2 episodes. Like she won't be like a series regular anymore, but if she could like drop in, like you know how Willa died, but she like showed up like so many other times after that. So
look at Alder.
Right?
yes pretty much everybody, right? But everyone who died came back,
right? So, dead doesn't always mean gone.
Yeah.
And then Isadora's lab, did we talk about that one already?
We talked
Not
about
so much.
Them getting there, right?
So which I forgot to mention that Abigail and Adil, while they're fighting, they also have a discussion about their honeymoon.
Yeah,
and cute. It was cute, but at that moment I was like, oh no, Adil's gonna die or something. Like there's no way they're gonna make it to the beach.
Yeah.
But I was happy that is not how that went.
Yes. Yeah. So Dani, what happened at Isadora's lab?
Well, like Christina said, they went to the lab and Hearst and his men come in and they're using that new autonic technology that they have. And while Abigail and Tally are sort of fending off the Camarilla, Scylla and Rayell and Adil are able to get into the room where the mother is so that Rayell can get to the mother. And also during this time, we see Nikta come in with her army of bats, which was so badass.
So
I mean, cool.
Oh,
I love her. So that was awesome that she showed up to help them. And yeah, so Rayell gets in there. She gets enough strength to like pick herself up and walk over to the mother, and she says she sings her seed, and the mother just kind of opens up into this tunnel. And so the 5 of them, Tally, Rayell, Abigail, Adil, Scylla, they all go in there. And they found this very large sort of like underground, I guess, cavern, which is the place that's the place that Tally saw in her vision, her sight. Yeah, so that moment, I mean, I was a little worried, you know, I was worried that her premonition was going to come true, that what she saw was right, and there was going to be something quite devastating that was going to happen. And in the meantime, you know, we have Alder off in where was she?
Ghana, and then Jamaica.
And then Jamaica. Yeah.
But hey,
and then you know, like, Virginia.
In the tunnel though, when they go to that place where, you know, Tally saw Tally, you know, it was from Tally's vision. When Tally was calling out to Alder, I was I was starting to cry. Yeah.
It was so heartbreaking and like such a plea for help.
And then so like as you guys were saying, so while they're like calling out for Alder's somewhere else and stuff, and so can you go into what she was doing?
So Alder was looking for the descendant of the last line of the first song, which I believe is the Abyssian. Is that how you say it? The Abyssian line. And that takes her to both Ghana, well, not just both, but all three places, Ghana, Jamaica, and then ultimately Virginia, to find out that Jem Bellwether is actually the descendant of that line, and she was the union of Earth and Sky. That's what they called her, and she could wield two elements at once. And that's how Alder put all the pieces together, that was Abigail's descendant. That means Abigail's a steward of the last piece, or of a piece of the first song.
So Dani was right then, right?
Yeah. Dani was absolutely right.
Yeah. But so Christina, that's what Dani was talking about. What she told you to take out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. She's like, am I right about
yeah. Can I just say that I really like that they wrote it that way, that Abigail is both the union of Earth and Sky. And I mean, I love Adil, you know.
You don't need no man.
That would have been great if he was a part of it, but I'm actually happy that he wasn't or isn't. And it really just keeps women at like the forefront of this story in a position of leadership and power, and you know, all of the beautiful things that come along with that. So yeah, like hats off to the writers and to Elliot for doing that.
And then what can you say about Ray's witch bomb?
Oof.
So cool.
Man, so she was kind of like a seventh piece. I mean, she didn't have a piece of the song, but she was a very key piece to this whole thing.
She was like
plan that she was the mother had.
She was the vessel, basically, that like,
or the vehicle.
Carried, the vehicle.
It was the vehicle, right? So the witch bomb was used to carry the song, the first song, out into the world, and so it could create this sort of atmospheric, I don't know what it was, layer around the earth.
Yeah.
And
hold on. So awesome. Like this, and then like that.
Yes,
right?
Just like that.
It's all magic,
right?
Without that word.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now everyone is a witch, including the Camarilla, which is pretty cool. It makes everyone equal.
Yep. That is a really beautiful message.
And then oh, right. Okay. Is this the end? The end part, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're all in the helicopter, and then Alder summons the mother. I guess I don't know if that's the right word, but she's like, and then she comes back, and then the voice comes out, and then what does she say? What does she tell them?
They're goddesses, basically, which is not what I was expecting at all, but like the coolest thing ever.
She basically tells them that, you know, this was her plan, and she wanted, well, it started out with 6 women having these gifts and going out to the world. You know, eventually down the line, people were afraid of them because of their gifts, and so they tagged them as witches and ostracized them because of that. But eventually, I mean, she really wanted everyone to have these gifts. She wanted everyone to be able to share in that. And so ultimately, Tally and Raylla and Abigail were able to do that for the mother and help provide those gifts for everybody. It's such a beautiful sentiment. I mean, like, it just gives me chills thinking about it.
Yeah.
What did the mother mean when she said that she merged with the 6 women? Can you explain that to me? She said she merged with the 6.
I think
I don't know if that was Alder saying that or if it was the mother saying that.
It was the mother.
It was the mother, yeah.
Yeah, I think her as sort of she's almost a goddess herself, right? And so
she's pretty ethereal.
She sort of she wanted to give these gifts to humans, and so she divided herself among these 6 people, these 6 women, so that it could be spread across the world. And yeah.
And then Alder comes back and she says something like, "You're my daughters," or whatever, and then she gives them all a kiss in the forehead.
Yeah, she says, "Thank you, my daughters."
Yeah. And I was thinking it would have been great if so she kissed Tally first, and then was it
Raylla
and then Abigail, right? So my like freaky mind was like, oh, what if she went reverse? So she kissed Abigail on the forehead, then she kissed Raylla on the forehead, and then she went to go kiss she went to go kiss Tally on the lampstand. If they did that in the bloopers, that would be so amazing. If they
my god, yeah.
That'd
be hilarious.
Yeah. So so give me 3 words each of what you all thought of the finale, because I want to tweet it out tonight.
Oh man.
Or just 1 word or a phrase or a sentence.
Beautiful. Breathtaking is the same. So I'm like,
revolutionary.
Yeah.
Empowering.
Okay. Mine would be like super emotional.
Emo.
Yeah.
So emo.
Super emotional. I think that's all I can think of right now. It was like super sad. I'm surprised I didn't bawl my eyes out though, but it was really sad. Yeah.
I think it was beautiful. Just the story and the message it sends, and also the way that it looks, still the way that it's shot, the colors that they use, just everything about it, the music, it's all so beautiful. Like,
okay, sad is a bad word. Like, okay, no, it wasn't sad. It was joyous. Yeah. So, Dani, you were Christina. You said that Amanda Tapping was the voice. Was she the one that was she the voice that we heard at the very end? Because there was
as the mother.
Voice. That was beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah, I think it was just like the main voice that you heard while she was speaking, I believe, was Amanda Tapping's voice.
Okay.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so and we all heard that Elliot has much more stories to tell. If the show if and when the show continues for a 4th season, Dani, what would you like to see?
Oh man, I want to see what it's going to mean to have Abigail, Raylla, and Tally at the head of the table. I mean, they've been left with this huge responsibility to take care of mankind and to help people, I guess, navigate this new life with gifts that they've never had before, and hopefully to just help the world keep the peace. I think because humans are humans, there is going to be conflict that arises at some point, but I'm confident in that these 3 will be able to handle it, and I would love to see how they do that.
What about you, Christina?
I'd like to see how everyone's marriage is going, check in on them there. But then just, see how they navigate this new world where everyone knows who they are, but not because they're wanted, but because of what they did. And see if there's anyone who's angry, see if like the Camarilla or anyone who didn't want this, and if they are trying to get rid of it or something like along those lines.
I think, do you know if there's any like fan fiction writers who do you know of any like Motherland for Salem fan fiction writers who might be able to write stuff until we wait until the show hopefully comes back?
Oh, I'm sure there will be plenty.
Okay, all the fan fiction writers, please write stuff, because we want the story to continue, and that would be awesome for us to read and stuff like it. Okay, so what do you guys think about the series as a whole? What do you guys think about the series as a whole? Dani, we'll start with you.
Oh my god, where do I start, you guys? I could talk about this for hours. This show I've seen how it's impacted so many different people of all different backgrounds, and it's something that I think will carry on even after it is finished, whether it's finished now or later on. I think it's one of those things that we can all look back on and find that home that we found in it before, find that community that we found before. The storytelling of this show is just, it's incredible. It is so rich, and I find myself even rewatching it several times. I'm always finding something new. There's always something to look deeper into, and overall, it's just a very empowering show. I mean, for so many different marginalized communities. Yeah, again, I could talk about this for hours, so I'll stop myself there. Please stop me. But I love the show. I really do.
And you were mentioning how it, the show has impacted you. You actually had a conversation with Catherine Lough, Catherine Lough Haggquist, and you were talking about how the show, you changed your life, and it was a beautiful moment that you two shared. And for that interview, everyone check out our YouTube channel for our interview with Dani, exclusive interview with Dani and Catherine. And so, Christina, what about you? What are your thoughts for the series as a whole?
It's been a wild ride, but it was, I feel like, one of the most well thought out and planned shows that I've seen in a very long time. Like, I know Elliot had been working and had books and stuff that he was working on first, so he had material that you could just tell it was very well developed, and it just kept getting more. He had a bunch of languages that he created. He had all those, like, the backgrounds of everything. Like, it's insane where, like, just the history that's also tied into it, and how it's like a cool twist on, like, well, what if this was actually real and this is how this could have gone. And it's an amazing escape from reality, because that's the world we'd much rather be in, I think. So it's been great. I love it so much.
And Elliot is such a good creator. I loved his show Claws. I don't know if you saw the show Claws on TNT with Niecy Nash. It was about I think it was about this nail salon, and hence Claws, and laundering money, and it was a whole bunch of women. It was so badass. I loved it. So, and interestingly enough, like way before the show came out, and it was ordered to pilot or whatever, I remember reading the synopsis or the log line of the show, and it said something about like witches and the army, and this is before they started filming. And in my head, I'm like, how is this show going to work? Who's going to watch this show? Because that small description that they had on there, it like didn't really make sense, but they made it work. And the show has so many fans, so many dedicated, loyal fans, switches. And we love the show so much, and we wanted to continue. So that's why there's this campaign to help save the show. And Dani has a great interview with Motherland for Salem Billboards, which you can check out on popwire.net to help save the show. So before we go, can you talk about why the show needs to be saved and what fans can do?
You gonna take it?
I was gonna say, what?
Go ahead.
Why does the show need to be saved? I think because of the amount of representation, and we need much, much more of that. And I think it's a good stepping stone to get more of that out there. And if we can get it on a bigger platform, more people can see that and be introduced to people of all different types of backgrounds. And I think, honestly, that's probably, as much as amazing as the story is and everything, I think the representation's even more important.
Yeah, the representation, the visibility of again, marginalized communities. The way that it puts women in positions of leadership and power, women of color especially, the way that we see queer love expressed in such a beautiful way, and the relationship is complicated, but it's also very resilient, and it overcomes big obstacles. It's very empowering for so many people across the globe. It has allowed people who see themselves on the screen to feel seen and heard. And yeah, I mean, I think if anything, this show has really set the bar very, very high in terms of the kind of diversity that we see, not only in front of the camera, but also behind too, because they've had a very diverse collection of people creating this show. And that's also very important to get an accurate representation of people.
Yeah,
definitely.
All right, so that is all for now. We have a lot more coming up, so make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got interviews lined up with Taylor Hickson, with Jessica Sutton, and Diana Pawlowska, who plays Willa, Mama Caller. So any last words, guys?
Oh man, it ain't over till it's over.
Yeah.
I'm such a diehard.
Yes.
But this has been, to you, Rowell, and you, Christina, this has been so fun covering this season with you guys.
Same.
It's been
We've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's hope for Revolution Part 3.
Yes.
And 4 and 5 and 6
and 4 and
5.
All right, everyone. So make sure to follow us on Popwire Net on all the social streaming channels. Use hashtag Motherland for Salem, save Motherland for Salem, hashtag WitchSlapped's, and I think that's it. Probably our next episode of WitchSlapped will be for Vampire Academy on Peacock. I don't know. And again, if you saw the code word in this episode, click the link in the description below, send us that code word, and you could win one of our stickers. So I don't know if I told you guys this before, but so I'm planning on giving away all the stickers, right? And then for everyone who wins the stickers, they're going to be put in a raffle for the medallion, which is pretty cool. So
awesome.
Right. All right, so thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for sticking around with us. We have hopefully much more to come, and we appreciate you watching us and keeping up with my BS, right? And I'm so awkward, guys. I'm so sorry. Thank you all for watching. My name is Rowell.
I'm Christina.
I'm Dani.
And we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you guys. That was so sweet.
I feel like I'm like such a downer right now. I'm sorry, you guys. I have no energy because I'm really sad about the show.
I know.